Hey everyone, welcome to today's new video. Today we're going to talk about the M60 Patton. A couple of days ago I did a poll and you guys overwhelmingly voted for this to be the next subject of my video. Normally I try to upload once every 2 to 3 days, but school started again, so that might be reduced to 1 or 2 videos a week. Now without further ado, let's get right into this video. The M60 Patton was designed back in 1957 and came into service in 1959 and remains in service until this day. In total this vehicle has been produced more than 15,000 times, which for a tank is massive. Let's put this into perspective. This is less than the German Panther, British Centurion and the British Cromwell have been produced, which combined would sit at 14,000. The M60s of course had several different versions of it available. These versions were the M60, the M60A1, the M60A2 and the M60A3. You also had several foreign upgraded M60s, these were mainly done to the M60A3. The M60 had seen a lot of action in its lifespan, but we'll talk about that later into this video. The M60 weighed about 46 tons, which is comparable to the weight of the M26 Pershing, which also weighed about 46 tons. It's actually a bigger tank than you might imagine. The M60 Patton's hull was 6.9 meters long. Its width was 3.6 meters wide and it was 3.2 meters tall. This allowed the M60 Patton to fit 4 crew members in the tank. The crew consisted of a driver, a gunner, a loader and a commander. This time I did find a picture of the armor values of the tank, so if you would like to have a longer look at the armor values, feel free to pause the video. It seems like the armor values are from the normal M60 because you can see the upper glazes that it's 98mm. The M60 was outfitted with a 105mm main armament. This main armament was also used for the M60A1, however the M60A2 used a 152mm main armament. And its secondary armament was an M85 mounted on an M19 Commander's cupola. The M60 was outfitted with the Continental AVDS 1790-2 V12 twin-turbo engine. This produced 750 horsepower. The M60 had a horsepower to ton ratio of 15 and its absolute top speed was 48 km an hour and its cross-road country speed was 90 km an hour. According to Wikipedia, its operational range is 500 kilometers. This is about 2 times higher than the highest operational range we've discussed on this channel so far. Personally, I take this number with a grain of salt, but if it's true, it's a lot. According to nationalinterest.org, these following countries still use the M60 Pattons currently in their army. These countries are Egypt, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Thailand, Taiwan and Bahrain. Now on to the fun part, service history. Because there is a lot, I will choose the wars a bit more carefully, so my first pick will be the 4th Arab-Israeli War. This war is also known as, guys I'm probably going to slander this name, so please don't make fun of me in the comments, Yom Kippur War, also known as the Ramadan War or the October War. This was an armed conflict fought from the 6th to the 25th of October 1973 between Israel and the coalition of Arab states led by Egypt and Syria. As usual, the United States and the Soviet Union both saw an opportunity to interfere with the war. The Soviet Union with the Arab side and the United States on the Israeli side. On the 12th of October 1973, the United States President Nixon green-lighted Operation Nickel Grass. This operation airlifted a lot of supplies into Israel to support its war efforts, including the M60A1, which saw action there. It did well against the T-54-55 tanks, but at the same time were destroyed in rows by the Egyptian-manned portable 83 Stagger Sharp Charge missiles. Due to their effective gun, mobility and excellent safety records, the IDF M60s were highly regarded and also were upgraded significantly. This led to the Magach 7/7 types and the Sabra for export market. During this conflict, Jordan also possessed the M60A1s, but none of these were deployed. One of the major weaknesses of the M60 was also discovered in this war. It was the location of the highly flammable hydraulic fluid, which was in a poor position and was seen as a major vulnerability. The M60A1 and the M48s also had heavy losses during this war. When this war started, the Israeli had 540 M48s and M60s, and after this war they only had 200 of these. Iranian-Iraqi War of 1982 until 1989. The Iranian M60s were seriously tested against the Iraqi T-55, T-62 and T-72, and it performed well alongside some M48s. Before the revolution, Iran had some 350 M60A1s, but this number dwindled rapidly due to the lack of maintenance and spare parts, to the actual figure of 150 tanks in 2011. At least one M60 was captured by Iraqi troops, evaluated and found in Baghdad in 2003. The Israeli Mag-X6 formed the core of the armored forces involved in the Operation Peace in Galilee. This tank had to deal with the Syrian T-54-55s, the T-72s and T-34-85s. The only losses occurred when encountering Syrian infantry hunter-killer teams using ATGMs, RPG-6s and SA-7 Grail manpads. Home missiles fired from the Syrian Gazelle helicopters were also deadly. A single M60 was damaged, evaluated by its crew and shipped back to Syria to be studied by Soviet technicians, which gave them clues about the latest NATO ammunition on board. It's still now on display in Damascus. First Gulf War 1991. During Operation Desert Storm in February 1991, US MC's M60A1 ERA rolled into Kuwait City after a fierce battle at the Kuwait airport. Some 200 participated in this largest tank battle for the US MC unit since World War II, dealing with the Iraqi T-54-55s, Type 69s and T-72 tanks. This unit claimed 9 dozen Iraqi tanks destroyed for a single M60A3 lost. My opinion. This is just my opinion, so feel free to disagree and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Like I stated before, the M60 had some serious weaknesses, with its hydraulic fluid which make the tank very flammable. It has a very big stature which doesn't do you any favors on the battlefield, and the turret doesn't seem to be incredibly well armored either. It, however, if it checks out, has an incredible operational reach. 500 kilometers is a lot. It has a decent main armament, so all in all it seems like a very mediocre tank, to be quite honest. Anyway guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you guys learned something new. I turned something on called membership, where you can subscribe to my YouTube channel for $3 a month to support my channel. You get a learning history together badge and a shout out at the end of every video. Other than that, thanks for reaching the 2000 subscriber mark. It's an incredible milestone and we've reached it in a record time, which is just crazy. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I'm aiming for the 5000 subscribers for the end of this year, and I think together we can make it. If you have some cool information on the M60 Patton, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.